Hey,
Hey, buddy, how are you?
good. Sorry, I just like shoved some cereal in my face.
Can I tell you my favorite things? I'm pretty sure last interview you had also just eaten. And it's like, if I'm going to talk to Greg, I might as well shove something.
I
Might as
think
well
it's
eat
more
something.
along. I think it's more along the lines I'm just always eating. So,
Or always doing interviews, one of the two. Wait, what is your
what?
go-to cereal?
Well, this isn't my go-to, but this is like, and I don't know. I'll show you. That's gross, but it's like, what is it? Like almond clusters. I just put bananas in it. I hadn't eaten yet today, and it's noon, and I was just like
You put
starving.
bananas in your cereal?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a hard pass.
What?
No, you can't do it. No.
My husband just said, "What for bananas in your cereal?" Yeah, it's good.
No, I don't eat banana anything. There's two flavors I will not eat. It's banana anything and coffee anything.
Okay, I don't know if we can be friends.
Are we doing end interview at this point? You're just like, sorry, I got to jump on a different Zoom.
First off, I freaking love coffee. I'm about to make one after this interview, another one. Yeah, I don't know.
Is there no flavor that you can't handle? What is a flavor that no matter what it's in, candy form, Slurpee form, food form, you just can't?
I hate mustard like so much. I can taste mustard if it's touching anything. I freaking hate it. Or I don't like wasabi either. I feel like, I mean, I like spice, but like wasabi, the flavor,
Well, but also it's the fact that it is that sort of nose clearing sensation. And you kind of get those sushi packs and you don't realize that end roll has been touching the wasabi and you're like, huh, I didn't realize that was going to happen to me.
It's like the wasabi though, like is in the air of the rest of them and I can taste it. Just not my vibe.
Okay, see, the way you feel about that. So you kind of understand me on the coffee and banana because it's sort of my same.
Right. Well, coffee, like the first time you have it doesn't taste good. You kind of like got to get used to it and then you get addicted and then you like it.
That sounds awful to me. First, I'm not going to like it. Then I get addicted to it. Why would I want to do either of those things?
It's like wine. It's like the first time it's kind of nasty and then you're like, actually, this is awesome.
That for me was beer. I remember having my first beer and because I remember watching The Simpsons thinking, man, Homer's beer looks great. And everybody, people would be around at parties drinking beer and you have your first beer and you're like, this sucks. Why does anybody drink this? Now I love it.
Yeah. It's like an acquired taste.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Hey, so is tomorrow night, are you doing that live for us? Like when we're watching the live stream from Bluebird, is that live as it's happening?
Yep.
How pumped are you to be able to actually do a show?
I'm so excited. It's been forever, obviously. We rehearsed last night with my band, kind of like I have a million email chains coming in about like what time COVID, we all have to get tested for COVID first. So yeah, it'll be super fun. I mean, I haven't been to the Bluebird in probably a year and a half, which I mean, we used to go, like my husband plays it all the time and I've played it a lot. And so it's going to be kind of nice to like be back there.
Did you see your husband play at the Bluebird before you had met, or was it something that you had met, started dating, and then you saw him?
What'd you say? No, I think we were dating when the first time.
You're sitting at the Bluebird, you're seeing this hot guy up there, and this is like, I need to stay after and see what's going on with this guy.
No. I think we were together. I don't know if maybe I saw him one time perform. He's just like thinks he's part of this interview. He's just.
I know, I love it so much. I'm like, just bring him in. This is fantastic.
Wes Mack and I came.
She saw me play Mercy Lounge before we were dating.
Yeah.
Which is a venue in town.
Mac, wasn't Mercy Lounge where you were with us with Jake Owen? Wasn't that Mercy Lounge?
Yeah, was it? Oh no.
Yes, yeah, it was. That was it.
No, I didn't see you play Mercy Lounge. I saw you play that.
No, you saw me play.
It was that place with Wes Mack.
I think that place is gone now.
Yeah, I think so too. It doesn't matter. Get out of my intro.
All right, goodbye.
Hi, Jake. I love you guys.
Literally, I just hear him yelling answer, and I'm like, okay.
This is what happens when we work from home, right?
Seriously, like I'm surprised I don't have my dog running through camera. Like, yes, you can't
when you're doing a show, because we're talking about snacks and eating things, is there something you always have to have before a show or during a show, or is it just whatever's going on that day?
I don't like love to eat right before the show just because I feel like full and stuff. But so there's no like particular food. I would say like I probably don't eat like 2 hours before the show. but I'll definitely be drinking tea and like honey, lemon, probably have like a vodka soda because I still get nervous and that kind of like calms it. But not all the time, but mostly just like a tea or something that will like a throat coat kind of thing.
Now, you're sort of setting this up. The Bluebird is happening. How much kind of reconfiguration have you done song wise? Or has it always been, I know I want to start with this, we'll move to this? Or has there been a bunch of like reworking? Maybe we'll move this here.
I mean, the one thing that I want for this round to be is like a Bluebird round. So it's not going to be so much like a full show. Like I want to play a new song. It's going to be, you know, me talking about the songs and more of like a round style instead of like a full show where it's like, you know, one song finishes and you go right into the next song. Like I definitely want it to be more chill.
But that's so much better for us as an audience because we get to hear you speaking about, because we talked about Drinkin Songs before you even launched it. And now it's #1, shout out, by the way. And, you know, just hearing the story.
Is it #1? Yeah.
On streaming, yeah.
Streaming, right.
There you go. And so one of my favorite things is I like to bring you on when we're debuting a new song, say on my show, because you get to talk about the inspiration behind it and it helps my audience click with it when they listen to the lyrics. So I love this kind of show.
Yeah, I'm excited to like, I just felt like, I mean, I don't know, the Bluebird vibe, it's not like a stage setup. It's such like an intimate thing. And have you been to the Bluebird before?
No, here's the thing that happens when I come to Nashville. I've been 5 times. I get there and then I get on a plane to go home 3 days later and I don't really know what happened in between.
I mean, I live here and that's just my life. And also the Bluebird's just like hard to get into and it's not an easy thing to just like last minute do. But the vibe in there is like, yeah, their songwriters are talking about why they wrote the song. It is quiet. You sit in the audience. So it's not like a stage kind of setup. So I wanted it to be like that just to like give people back home like a feeling of what it would actually be like to be at a Bluebird show. You
said you're doing a new song. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is probably a bit of a risky move because I literally just wrote it. Maybe, I think I got the demo. I mean, I got a new version of the demo yesterday. So I haven't cut it. It's like brand spanking new. It's called After Hours. And I just love it and was like, well, if I'm going to try out a new song, I might as well try it in front of my people back home and at the Bluebird. I mean, it just feels like fitting.
But it's in a round, so you have to talk about the song. So what are you going to say about the song before we play
it? Good question.
Thank you.
You know what? I don't know. Like, basically it's about, I mean, like most of my songs, heartbreak. I don't know why I love my husband more than anything, but I still really like connect to those moments in my life where my heart was broken. And I just feel like I could write about that forever. And also when I hear songs, the ones I connect to the most are usually like a heartbreak song. So we wrote it, like I wrote it with 2 of my friends on Zoom last 2 weeks ago. And it's basically just about like having a hard time getting over someone, as simply put. I'll say something cooler
After Hours, right?
Yeah.
No, I like the way that's perfect.
Yeah, like there's a twist, like obviously, you know, after hours, like after work, the work's not done because I'm still trying to get over you because I'll never find a better love after hours.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited.
What I love is you had the idea of bringing us back home, the feeling of being in Nashville. And I don't think we've done this with you on this Barn 49 page. We have a feature we call My Nashville Story. And it's you telling me about your memory of your first time in Nashville.
That is such a good question. So I think my first time, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so I think my first time, I can't even remember this guy's name, but basically there was a older guy who is a great songwriter. And he came up to Winnipeg to do a kind of, I don't know, I can't even remember, so long ago, like a conference or something like that. Or maybe we just met, he knew my manager, I can't remember. But he's like, you should come to Nashville and I can show you around and introduce you to a couple people. I'm like, yes, like that's where I want to live. So I came and I stayed in like a Red Door like motel or something like that, like so dicey. I remember there was like a lot of stuff going on in that hotel. And I was like, I do not feel safe here. So I called this dude and was like, hey, I kind of don't feel like very safe in this hotel. And he's like, come stay with me and my wife. So I stayed with them in their guest room, and they were super sweet. And he showed me around, and we went and did rounds, and he was playing a couple of rounds. So I jumped up and like sang a couple songs, and we went to like Nashville, which is a kind of breakfasty place, and showed me Music Row. It's kind of like me touring the city, basically. I think that was my first time. And then
how much did you freak out seeing all these places for the first time that you had just dreamed of or seen on social media, and like, oh, now I'm here?
Yeah. I mean, I really did. The thing like about Nashville though is like sometimes it's a little underwhelming. Like when you go to Music Row, because it's just like a residential street, and you know, you hear, you know, all these massive records coming out of there, and when you drive down it just kind of looks like normal houses. But then when you go inside the buildings, that's when I feel like you like can feel the magic.
It's what I remember about the first time I ever stepped foot in a radio station. I was like, oh, this is a radio station. I was so underwhelmed.
I know. But I mean, what they create is what's the, you know, cool part.
Besides mine, create some fantastic things. Yes, they're doing a great job. Do you remember, you said you got to play some rounds that first trip. Do you remember a song that you got to play?
Oh gosh. I don't even remember. Like,
well, let me ask you this. Since you're doing a Bluebird show, do you remember your first time at the Bluebird?
Yes. The first time I was at the Bluebird, I played on Ladies' Night, and that was a full band setup, and I can't remember who I had as my band. But when I think back to that show, it's just like embarrassing. Like, oh,
why?
Just because like the songs were so garbage. Like I was just so young. I was like probably 19 or something like that. And what I thought was cool then, not cool.
But was there an electric atmosphere in there that you kind of took away from that night thinking, this is what I live for?
Totally. And like the Bluebird definitely has an energy that is nerve-wracking because it's so iconic. Like even Jake was saying, like that's probably the venue that he feels the most nervous to play all the time. And it's so quiet when there is an audience in it too, that you can just hear everything.
What blows my mind is the first time you ever went to the Bluebird was to play it, which not a lot of people can say.
Right. Yeah, no, it was. And I mean, I've gone now a few times, but it's usually to either hear him play or me play. Like, I don't think I've ever gone actually just for like a regular round just to sit there, which I should. I don't know why I haven't.
I want to, we're so excited. We're giving away tickets to the show, and I want to get you out of here on this because I've taken up so much of your time. We do something on our show every day called a one call debate. And we did one yesterday, and I knew I was talking to you. And whenever we get to talk to somebody like you, you get to reverse yesterday's decision if you feel differently.
Okay.
So basically, my co-host and I argue something, one caller decides who's right. And then if you're on, you can reverse the previous day's decision.
Okay.
So yesterday's was when you can't fall asleep. And I'm sure you've had some restless nights where your brain's in overdrive. Especially creative people, we get that all the time. What do you do when you can't fall asleep at night? Do you listen to music or do you watch TV?
I would watch TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
I lost yesterday because I said TV. My co-host said music. I lost, so you just made me win. That's fantastic.
Hey, I mean, yeah, I think I would. I mean, most of the time I just turn and, toss and turn until I can't fall asleep. But if I really couldn't, I'd turn the TV on.
What do you watch? Do you watch something that you've seen a million times so your brain doesn't have to be engaged? Like I turn on The Office just to help myself fall asleep because I've seen it a million times.
Probably the one show that we do like fall asleep to now is the Great British Baking Show. I know.
I love that show.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. We watch it all the time. It's ridiculous. It's so good.
Started baking because of that show? Because I have.
No, I'm too lazy too. I just want other people to bake me things. I always think like what are the judges' names? Prue and
Paul Hollywood.
Paul Hollywood. I'm like, they must like have the sweetest tooth ever. Like I could never eat that much. But yeah, I love it. It's a funny show, and obviously like the time constraints on like having to bake those things. It's just really, I like it.
But I also think you're like me. Once you see it so many times, you're like, oh, what are you doing with your Jacon sponge? Like we're experts at all.
I know, but if we actually tried to do that, it would never.
Terrible.
No, I can't even make like chocolate chip cookies. Last time I used like baking soda instead of whatever else I was supposed to use. It's
It
bad.
happens. It happens, right?
I can cook.
Well,
I can cook.
thank you for helping me win. We're also launching something in March, and I need your honest 100% opinion on this that leads to TV. What is the greatest TV show of all time, according to Mackenzie Porter?
Greatest TV show all time. That's such a good question. Like the first thing that came to my head was Breaking Bad.
Exactly. The first thing that comes to your mind has to be it, or you'll talk yourself into different shows, right?
There's so much good stuff now. There really is.
But you go with Breaking Bad.
That was like the first thing. Like I can also think of I was a big House of Cards fan in the first couple seasons. There's just, I don't know. There's a lot.
I'm going to go with your first answer because it's like doing a Scantron test. When you think it's A, immediately you go with A, or you'll talk yourself into C.
And I haven't seen Game of Thrones, which I know which most people would say would probably be theirs, but I haven't seen it yet. So
no, the final season ruined it.
Really?
And the final season of Breaking Bad was fantastic. So you have to judge on final seasons.
For me, Game of Thrones is just like so overwhelming. Like there's so many seasons and it's such like it's not a show you can just like put on and not pay attention to. So I need to like do it, but I need the time.
That's how I feel. I'm halfway through Yellowstone, but I don't have a lot of free hours in my day. So I can't watch it while I'm falling asleep because I got to focus and I can't do that.
Yellowstone's a great show. We did the first 2 seasons and then I can't remember why we stopped, but yes, you definitely like need to pay attention.
You got to pay, or you're falling asleep, and then the next day you have to rewatch the same episode that you just watched because you fell asleep during it.
Yeah, tough life that we have having to.
I know we have such a tough life. I'm assuming you don't have a plan for a next single before I get you out of here.
Oh no, I do.
Do you? Can I know or no?
It's there will be like a tiny bit of a break, I guess you could say. Well, not okay. Well, let me see. What's the date today?
24th.
Okay, in the next couple weeks. You will know what it is.
You're going to jump on with somebody else and reveal it there. I really appreciate that.
If I could, I would literally get like punched if I gave away the secret. But it's going to be like way bigger than anything else I've ever done.
I love it. Hey, thank you so much for taking all this time with me. I really appreciate you. I can't wait to watch you tomorrow night at the Bluebird.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much.
And say hi to hubby for me because he jumped in on the interview and I love that.
I will.
Bye. See you later.
See ya.